Hey everyone, welcome to my first time hunting vlog. This is a very personal video that I really wanted to share with you guys because this means a lot to me. I am not making this YouTube video to pretend that I'm manly or to convince you of anything. This is just my own personal journey and I'm super happy that you are with me today. So after packing up my stuff and jumping in the car, I drove to the grocery store to get some essentials. I said goodbye to Catherine and to baby Noah and then joined my father-in-law and my wife's little brother on a 3-hour drive. As this was my very first hunting trip, during the whole car ride, I couldn't stop thinking about how excited I was to learn the whole process and to connect to nature in a way that I've never done before. Having the opposite point of view about hunting not too long ago really made this whole trip extra special, and it just reminded me how interesting and flexible the human mind is, where perspectives and opinions can change with the introduction of new contexts and experiences. On the way to camp, it started pouring down with rain, but the scenery just got better and better. Then we finally arrived at our destination where I was going to be camping with my father-in-law, Mr. Hello, and Catherine's grandpa. So this is my first ever experience. I'm not a licensed hunter yet, but I'm learning the process. I'm here with my father-in-law who got a reindeer card. A lot of people do think it's a really crazy and extreme change from, you know, being a vegan and promoting the vegan lifestyle for a very long time passionately and enthusiastically to changing into a person who is into hunting. We as humans have come really far in terms of the destruction of our planet in many ways. And I believe that hunting is one of those things that we as humans have been doing for thousands and thousands or hundreds of thousands of years. And it's something that I don't think is going to be around for that much longer. I am a person who really believes in, you know, staying true to nature and living in alignment with nature as much as possible. And if I'm going to eat animal products and you know, meat, I personally would like to get it from nature, as close to how humans would naturally get their food back in the day. They're not being fed GMOs and glyphosate and all these antibiotics that unfortunately our food production is now filled with. So if there is any food on the planet that is closest to how it's supposed to be eaten, you know, this is it. And being a person who wants to eat that meat, I feel like it's my duty to be able to do it myself and get the food myself. Catherine's grandpa was just pointing at the sunset. Look at that. That is just amazing. Wow. So beautiful up here. But I think this is going to be such a cool experience. And I'm going to remember it for the rest of my life. Good morning everyone. So just got up at 5 a.m. We are trekking upwards towards the top of the mountain. Pretty tough uphill, especially with these massive boots that I borrowed from my grandpa, probably from the 1950s or something. And it just started to rain. Alright, a couple hours into the trek and we're about 1,200 meters in altitude right now. As you can tell by the nature that you're seeing around me, it's incredible that animals can actually survive and thrive in these conditions, especially considering the winters here go to, you know, -20 Celsius. So the reindeer will eat whatever it is on the land here, so they thrive and survive on things like moss and other shrubs. Obviously a lot of reindeer and deer, all kinds of animals die during winter because it's extremely harsh conditions. But yeah, there's definitely extremely limited foods for humans to eat here. No berries growing this far up, no mushrooms. I guess you can munch on some moss like the deer. Maybe I'll try that. But apart from that, nothing, just animals. The air quality here is pure, the purest you can get, I think. I mean, this is so far from civilization. I've, really changed my perspective on nature and come to appreciate it so much more than I used to. And I think that comes from understanding that we don't have that much of it left, right? So, it's a big passion of mine to promote and try to inspire people to think more objectively and live more intentionally and realize that our actions do have consequences. I still think we can be a thriving technological human civilization without destroying the planet. I don't think that's necessary at all. But again, greed and money are very, very ingrained in the human psychology. So the solutions seem simple, but they're not as easy to implement. Anyways, I'd like to know what your relationship to nature is. How you feel when you're in nature. Do you get enough time in nature? Okay guys, so we reached our destination after a couple hours hiking. We are now at the top of the mountain and we are going to be stationed here for a couple hours at least and take out our binoculars and try to look out for the reindeer herd around. Hopefully we'll get to see them. Super excited. This is a pretty sweet spot that Catherine's dad picked up. How are you doing, man?
Hello!
Okay, got this little base here. Got Catherine's dad using the binoculars on the lookout. Check this nature out. Crazy. Anyway, since we've been hiking for a long time, our clothes are wet, so it's time to change into dry clothes. Right, got the lunch, got the binoculars, ready to settle down. Right, so packing up again. Been there about 4 hours, and yeah, we haven't seen anything apart from a couple of herds on the other side of the mountain or the other side of the valley. So we're gonna move and see if we find something a few kilometers further down. Catherine's dad just got out the rifle. He's checking out the area, so he may have spotted something. So he spotted 3 animals. Now we're just trying to sneak up on them. I was actually thinking we weren't gonna run into any reindeer at all since we haven't seen anything, and by chance there were these 3 reindeer grouped together not too far from where we're stationed, just like a couple kilometers from when we started walking. We decided to clean the whole animal here on the spot, so I'm super grateful for the whole opportunity, and obviously really thankful for the animal itself who gave his life to us. And that's a really important aspect that, most of us when we're eating food, we're not even thinking about where it came from. We're not even grateful for it. Now we're gonna carry all the clean parts down, leave the rest for the birds, and yeah, go home, I guess.